Hey guys, this is Gabriel Lorenzi, creator of the blog Grupo Dicas, one of the biggest travel blogs in the world, and today I am here to give you all the tips of Mexico City. It's a very cool video telling everything, how to get there, what documents you need, what's the weather like, which is very important. We had a hard time there, I'll tell you about it, how it is, what to bring, what to do, where to stay. In short, that are the most important tips you need to know before planning your trip to Mexico City. So stay tuned because these tips will be quick, useful, and not boring at all, guys. So don't forget to give us the like, give the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel because that really helps us a lot, and buckle up, let's go. Well, Mexico City is a destination that has a lot of important tips. We have just learned this. I had been there once before. I stayed 2 days on my own when I went on business. I didn't know much, but now we ended up doing a quarantine there before coming here to Orlando, to the United States. So we stayed 15 days in Mexico City. So we got to know a lot of things. Our main tip, of course, Mexico City is incredible. The cultural variety, the Mexican culture, the amount of things to do is immense. It's really worth it, especially for those who like to experience different cultures. It's a very cool place. One of the main tips that I would give you, and that we ended up not seeing the places, nobody warned us and we suffered a little bit, it's about the weather. What happens? The altitude in Mexico City is very high, very high. We had no notion of it, no notion at all. And what happens at certain times of the year, the air is very dry, very dry. We had the cold season, the winter season there. We went there in December, at the end of November, December. So there, November, December, and January is their winter, and it's very dry indeed. We were sick, our mouths were all cut, really cut, and it was very hard to breathe. I tried to exercise for a few days there, but I couldn't. It was crazy. So if you can avoid the months of November, December, and January, and also the summer there, which is not so hot, but the area is also complicated, which is June, July, and August, it's a good start. In the other months, except for these months, which are autumn, spring, the air tends to be more humid, the temperatures are milder, it's neither too cold nor too hot, so it's not too hot or too cold. Another thing is that the temperature varies a lot there. Even if you go there in the summer or in the winter, always take a change of clothes during the day, a jacket or something, because at night it gets cold out of the blue and in the morning it gets very hot. So there's a very big variation. So stay tuned with this because it's very important. We didn't know that and we ended up suffering a little bit because of this condition. And giving the tips from the beginning, what do I need to get to know Mexico City? To get into Mexico as a whole, this includes Cancun as well, which is one of the most popular destinations for tourists from all over the world. You just need to have your passport. You don't need a visa. Also, you need vaccine for the yellow fever, whoa, come on. Yellow fever vaccine. Many people ask if you need it. You don't need it. You just need to have your passport up to date. For those who don't have a passport, it's very easy to get one. You just need to get informed in your country and check the documentation, but in general, it's very easy. To get there in Mexico City, you will arrive at the main airport of the city, the Benito Juarez International Airport, which is gigantic. It's very big and there are many flights, many direct flights from the main ones in the world. There are many direct flights there, even those going to Cancun, which doesn't have so many direct flights there because the airport is a little smaller. Most of them stop in Mexico City at this airport and then go to Cancun. So it's a place that you can find tickets on promotion because there are many flights and many tickets. So do a little research because it's possible to find cheaper tickets. We have a website, I'll leave the link here below in the description of the video. It's an airfare comparator. It searches all airlines for the tickets you want to fly to the destination you put in this case Mexico City, so you can see all the airlines that go there, how the flights are, the prices, and usually we can get promotions and very good prices using this website. Take a look because I think you will like it. It's very good, the service is with a lot of quality. And arriving at the airport is about 12 kilometers from the center, from the tourist area. and you will probably be staying there. We'll also give you tips on where to stay, but you will be about 12 kilometers away. You take a cab, it takes 25 to 40 minutes. Why such a large variation? This is one of the points. And also a tip, Mexico City has a lot of traffic, a lot. This surprised us, but the main thing is at peak hours, just like in the big cities in the world, is in the morning when people go to work, and in the afternoon between 4:30 in the afternoon and 7 o'clock in the evening. So try to avoid this time on your tours because you will save a lot of time, because there is traffic. Sometimes it stops, it takes a long time. So if there is no traffic, you can get to the center of the airport in 25-30 minutes. For those who want to save time, the airport has a subway. It's interconnected with the subway downtown, so in 40 minutes you arrive downtown. You will spend very little, really. But besides the savings, one thing we always say when you arrive at the place, you will be with a lot of suitcases, with your luggage, without knowing anything, without being familiar with the environment. We have had some trouble in the beginning wanting to save money, so now when we go to a new city especially, we take a cab or an Uber, which you can easily get there. Or the best option of all, in our opinion, is the transfer. You already arrange it with an accredited agency, you pay the price of a cab. It's not expensive, but they already wait for you there. There will be a person waiting for you with a little plaque when you get off the plane. You go with him, he already places your bags, he already knows your address exactly. You have already paid a fixed amount, so you don't fall into the taxi driver's scam. They take you there. We think that to go from and to the hotel in the airport is the best way, because you will be carrying a lot of bags. Going to the subway in a city that you don't know, sometimes you can get lost in a crowded subway. You don't know when you will have to walk to the hotel. We think it's a little bit risky, so you take the shuttle, go to the hotel. After you leave your bags there, understand how it works, look at the map. Then if you like, you can easily take risks with the subway, the buses, which there are a lot there in the city. Now, talking about transportation, taking advantage of the hook to get around Mexico City, you have several options. One that some people use, that's the easiest, is to rent a car, but it's the most expensive one too. You will pay a little bit more for that. Of course, you will have the comfort, you will be able to go where you want, you can get around very easily, but you will pay a little bit more. For those who chose to rent a car, you can rent it with a driver's license from your country. You can rent it at the airport, so you save money with the transfer or the cab to the hotel. Then you return it at the airport. It's very easy. Car rental is cheap there. The car rental in Mexico, both in Cancun and Mexico City, is one of the cheapest that we have ever seen in the world, so it's a cheap option close to the other destinations, especially here in the United States. The tip to give you is, if you want to rent a car, use a price comparison tool. Don't go to a rental company. There is a very good website, I'll leave two that are the biggest in the world down here in the description of the video. You compare, you put the date there, the airport of Mexico City, and it will do a search in all car rental companies, the best ones, and then you take a look there. But go with the big ones, don't go with a local company, because sometimes there are problems. We have heard some reports. Try to get Alamo, Avis, Budget, Thrifty, 60, Enterprise, National. These are all very good, and this comparator finds the best prices. It's the cheapest place. Take a look if you're interested in renting a car there. For those who are not going to rent a car, there are the options that we already mentioned, which are Uber. I prefer Uber to cabs. It's much easier and faster. Uber there is very fast to get there. Sometimes you spend some time in traffic, but it arrives quickly. We didn't have any problems with an Uber. There is plenty of public transportation. There are buses, subway, trains. If you want to save a lot of money, you can use it. Just study carefully, because the city is big, it's very busy. It's different from some other cities in the world, but you can take the subway and the buses easily if that's your idea. And a tip that we give, that we do in some cities, we don't like in many, but there I think it was a good idea. It worked well. The hop on, hop off. Hop on, hop off. Each one calls it one way. It's the tourist bus of the city. Every tourist city in the world has one. This one you see here in the picture is a bus that works. It has several strategic stops in the main tourist attractions of the city. You pay an amount to get in for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. You choose there when you buy. What happens? You get on the bus and you go to the tourist attraction. It stops in several places, or you look at the map. I want to go to this other one. You go to this this other one and get off. You don't have a lot of time, then you can stay there as long as you want, explore the region, then you return to this point or go to a nearby bus stop that you have everything there on the map, on the application, and then every 15 minutes, sometimes every half an hour, this bus goes there. There are several buses that are the same, doing the same route, so you can use it to get around, and it's nice that they already stop close to the main tourist attractions, so it's a cheap way. It's nice that they are talking, there is a view, you can see the city from the top floor or from the bottom floor. There's a guide who explains this is such a museum, this and this or that, so it's a nice and practical way to get around. Take a look, I'm going to leave below a website where we buy all the tickets, the tours in Mexico City. That's very good. It has all the tours, the pyramids tours, which is very nice for the pyramids that are further away. There are several tours. Take a look at this website, it's very good, and they have this tour bus called Hop On Hop Off, or they have other names sometimes. It varies a lot, but you will see there. It can also be a good option for you to get around the city and explore all the tourist attractions for the entire trip. Oh, and guys, if you have any travel questions from around the world, you can send them to us and we'll help you. If you want, it's even easier, add me on the social networks at Lorenzi, send me a direct message and I will help you. And take the time to follow us. We are living here in Orlando now, we are showing you our daily life, the parks, the food, the shopping, everything is different here. And the routine with our little ones too, who are so cool. So go there because I think you're going to like the content. And since we are talking about the transportation, let's talk about location, which helps a lot in your locomotion. In Mexico City, it's a big city. There is a zone where the tourist attractions are more concentrated, but there are several others that are scattered. The area that concentrates most everything is the historic center. You put there the center of Mexico City, you see it on the map. That is where most of the tourist attractions are, but in our opinion, it's not the ideal area to stay. During the day, it's okay, but at night, it's very empty, very empty. It reminded us a lot of the center of São Paulo, that during the day is very busy and at night is empty, so it gives a feeling of insecurity. We didn't feel so comfortable walking around, staying there at night. So what's the tip? There's a region called Polanco, which is a little bit more chic. It's the most beautiful region, the most expensive hotels. This downtown area has many options of very cheap hotels for those who want to save money, but there is another area in the middle called La Reforma. Take a look at the Reforma neighborhood, which is very good. It's in the middle of everything. It's close to El Ángel de la Independencia. If you look at the map, you will see that the main avenue there you have several hotel options. It's an intermediate region, so you will see expensive hotels, cheap hotels, intermediate hotels, and you are so close to the Chapultepec forest. It's very cool. It's a beautiful forest. It's a park similar to the Central Park in New York. It's the park in Mexico City that's gigantic. You will spend a whole day there exploring the park, so it's a very nice area. We made a video about where to stay, which explains this region very clearly, but in summary, this is the best region. To make it easier, I'm going to put the personalized map just for you to see here on the screen. I will leave the link to you here in the description of the video. We customized this map inside a hotel search engine, which is the biggest in the world. I'm sure you know it. We were able to mark this region. If you stay in this region, there is no mistake, you are in the best possible location. And it's nice that we have already set some filters, which are guest ratings from 8 to 10. We use this filter a lot to avoid getting bad hotels that give you headaches, that are dirty. So with this filter, you will have a guarantee that the hotel is nice and that's pleasant, that people enjoy their stay there. So the nice thing about it is that it has free cancellation with most of the hotels. So what's the tip to save money on lodging? Anticipation. The sooner you make your hotel reservation, especially in Mexico City, which is a very tourist city, the cheaper you will pay. So if you book there, you will probably get a free cancellation option and book earlier because you will pay cheaper. You will see that in 1 or 2 weeks the prices will go up. There is no way. So if you see a good price, just book it. That's what we do. Book and guarantee the price. If later on you need to change neighborhoods, the date, cancel, it's a snap. There's no bureaucracy at all. So we use it a lot of the free cancellation. It's a cool tip. Do it in advance and you will see that you will save money and get a nicer, cheaper hotel. Cheaper than if you leave it to the last minute, guys. So pay attention because advanced noticing is the key for saving money in the lodging. Everyone asks which hotel I have stayed in, which hotel I recommend. I'll leave here below in the description of the video the hotel that we stayed at in this area. That's the best. It's a very good hotel, very nice. And I'll also leave the hotel that's an apartment that we stayed at in Santa Fe. Santa Fe is a neighborhood which is about 30 minutes from downtown Mexico City, but it's a very beautiful neighborhood. It's the safest neighborhood. It's a neighborhood that has a lot of commercial buildings for rent, for these executives. We stayed in a beautiful apartment inside a building that had everything. It was well equipped because we were quarantined. We had to stay for 15 days, so we were not going to stay in a hotel, not even in Cancun. So we opted for an apartment, and it's a beautiful area. There is a park in front of it. It was a sensational choice for those who want to stay in a different neighborhood, more pleasant, or stay longer. Take a look here. I'll leave the apartment in this area of Santa Fe for you to take a look. Now the tips on what to do. There are a lot of things to do. We are going to make a video following this one, so watch it later. It's the one about what to do in Mexico City. We will explain each tour, how to do it, where to buy it, but there are a lot of things. I won't go into detail in this video, otherwise it will be too long, but the tip we give by before. All the tickets, tours of almost all the cities in the world, it pays you to buy in advance because it's usually cheaper, you don't pay taxes, you buy from a reliable, accredited company. There are several advantages. I'll leave below the link of this website where we always buy the tickets and tours. Take a look, but plan ahead because there are a lot of cool things to do there. And together with this, there is also the questions: how many days to stay in Mexico City? Of course, I stayed 2 days once and got to know a lot of things, but I didn't know everything. If you want to see all the main points, I think at least 4 days. The ideal is 5 or 6 because there is also the tour to see the pyramids, which is far away. It will take a day of your trip, but it's very nice and worth doing. But try to book at least 4 or 5 days. That I think it's going to be worth it. Another tip is the cell phone chip. In order to use your cell phone there, which is very important for you to move around, see the map, communicate, see the time of the attractions, the addresses, social networks, all of this that we are using to, you need to have your cell phone abroad for you to use the international roaming on your country's operator. Generally, most of them charge a fortune. It's much more expensive, really much more. Don't do this. What many people who travel do, and what we have discovered and what we always do, is to buy a prepaid international chip. There are some companies that sell this chip. Some sell it in Mexico, others are now starting to sell it internationally in each country. It's a prepaid chip that you buy with the data package. You arrive with it activated and ready. The internet is working, it works super well. You can use it leaving the airport to see the map to your hotel. You can use your internet, it's very good. I'll leave below here the website where we buy ours. It's a company that we have been using for years. I think we have traveled to about 10 countries using them, and everywhere it works well. It's an excellent chip, the price is good and the service is very good too, and they send it quickly to your email. Take a look, it has all the plans. Ask them, they have a very fast service, which is the best plan, how much is the contract, and they have the eSIM now, which is a virtual chip, so you don't even have to receive it at home. Of course, not all devices accept this technology, so you see they put it in the description. Yes, there are the compatible cell phones and it's very simple to activate and use. We think it's the best way to use the internet abroad, no doubt about it. And a tip, keep this chip because if you travel other times you just need to charge it through the application or call them there. It's very easy. You will save money because the price of the chip you never pay again. So you have to buy only once and you can use for all your travels. Another important tip that I just remembered, this I had not written down here, but I remember the tipping. As tipping varies a lot, they call it tips, you will have to pay around 10 to 15%. 10% is the half that tourists usually pay. If you are very well served, you pay 15%, but it's different from the United States, which is 20%. Here we pay 20% because it's the custom, it's the culture, it's already included in the price, it's normal. But when people go there, they have this doubt. Is it the same as in my country? Is it the same as the United States? No, it's 10 to 15%. So you just have to pay attention to that because it's always in that area. And now talking about the exchange rate, you have to take the Mexican peso. Some places accept dollars everywhere. In Mexico City, some places do, but it's a little more difficult. Our tip, take everything in Mexican pesos. Some people say, I prefer the dollar because the exchange rate is better. I save a little bit. Every time we calculate, the difference is always very little and it varies. So to make things easier, we always take Mexican pesos. We like to buy from from big and well-known companies. It's good to check with a couple of them, compare prices, but there's no secret. We always buy beforehand. I'll leave below here the link of a very good website. They are very well known and you can see the exchange rate and choose how much you need to take in cash, and if you want a part in a prepaid charged card, you can load it with whatever you want. You choose and take it already loaded. It's a very good system for everybody. And a very important tip, travel insurance, guys. Many people sometimes forget about it, or it's the first tip and they are not used to it. When you leave your country, get international travel insurance. It's so important that for Europe, it's mandatory. To go to Europe, you have to have travel insurance, but even if you're going to Mexico, which you don't have to, we highly recommend it. What is the insurance? Travel insurance includes medical and dental assistance, loss of luggage, theft luggage, various types of coverage for problems that you may have during your trip and that are very expensive. A medical consultation abroad, a hospitalization is a fortune. You can have a huge loss, it's not nice. And travel insurance is very cheap. You go for a 10-day trip, for example, you will spend about $27 for a good insurance. So make your own, don't fail to do it. Take precautions because it's quick and easy. I'll leave the comparator here, just like the car comparator that compares all the car rental companies. This insurance comparator compares all the insurance companies. They are the best in the market, all reliable, and it finds incredible prices, cheaper than the insurance company itself. So take a look with this comparator. In 5 minutes you can search, see if it's the cheapest, higher, check the coverage, print your policy, and that's it. You travel in place, but don't stop taking one. It's really important. And here below in the video description, underneath the video, you will see more. You click on it and it will open this whole description. I've organized all the links and tools for you to organize your entire trip. And that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like it, please give us a like. Don't forget to give that thumbs up and subscribe to our channel because it really helps us a lot. And be sure to watch the other videos that are very good. I'll leave them here along with the playlist that has all the other videos from Mexico City for you to watch. So thanks a lot, guys, and have nice trips.